Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready to dive into some fun vocab today?
Always.
Awesome. So we're looking at shopping vocabulary today,
Right?
and specifically British English shopping vocabulary from a couple different sources.
Yeah.
But we'll throw in some American English too for comparison.
Mm-hmm.
So should be pretty fun. So to get us started, why don't we imagine we're strolling through a British street market?
Okay. Yeah.
Which the source talks about a lot. And I love that image of strolling through because it really gives you a sense of the relaxed pace.
Yeah.
That, it's not just about, getting in and getting out and buying things. It's an experience.
Yeah, definitely like taking your time
Yeah.
and enjoying the atmosphere.
Exactly. So you're strolling through this market and you might pick up a few things that catch your eye.
Yeah.
Maybe a handmade item or something vintage.
Right.
But then the real fun begins when you start haggling
Oh, yeah.
with the vendors.
Haggling's a must.
Now, I've never been great at haggling.
Mm.
Is it really as common in British markets as they say?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's almost expected.
Really?
Like part of the whole experience is that back and forth.
So it's not even really just about getting the lowest price. It's about the interaction.
It is, yeah. It's about building that rapport with the vendor.
Yeah.
Reading their cues.
Oh, that's interesting.
And, finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where you both feel like you've gotten a good deal.
Right. And, sometimes maybe you have a day where you shop till you drop.
Oh, for sure.
Have you had any of those days lately?
Well, it's funny. The source mentions that mostly in the context of holiday shopping.
Oh, right.
But, sometimes even a regular Saturday afternoon can turn into a shopping marathon.
Oh, yeah. I've had those.
Remember that time
Oh, please so.
Well, let's just say I went out for like a quick trip to the grocery store and came home 5 hours later with enough groceries to feed a small army.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've got these street markets, which are all about the relaxed pace and the personal interaction.
Yeah.
But how does the language change when we move into the more structured environment of a supermarket?
Well, think about it. What are the verbs you typically use when you're at the supermarket?
Okay.
You stock up on essentials for the week. You check off items on your shopping list.
Right.
And maybe you pick out a few special treats. It's much more about efficiency.
Totally. And I find there's something so satisfying about making a list
Oh, yeah.
and just going through and methodically checking things off.
Definitely.
What about you? Are you a list person or more of a spontaneous shopper?
Oh, I'm a list maker for sure. Keeps me focused. Helps me avoid impulse buys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Although even with a list, sometimes you can end up in a bit of a pickle.
In a pickle.
Ah.
I love that idiom.
Mm.
Tell me more about that one.
Well, in this context, it's talking about, when something goes wrong with your shopping trip.
Okay.
Like, let's say you get all the way to the checkout and realize you've left your wallet at home.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Right? Talk about a shopping fail.
Yeah. But it's so true. Like that phrase in a pickle really captures that feeling.
It does. It's like a perfect idiom for that situation.
Yeah. It's like a piece of cake or cry over spilled milk.
Exactly. Those classic idioms.
Yeah. They're so evocative. And a piece of cake can be used for so many different situations.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just shopping
Right.
and cry over spilled milk.
Hmm?
Well, haven't we all made shopping mistakes that we just had to laugh off later?
Absolutely. It's a good reminder not to sweat the small stuff.
It is. Speaking of, different situations, did you know that even shopping vocabulary can highlight some interesting cultural differences?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, for example, the whole trolley versus cart thing.
Right.
I remember going to the U.S. and being so confused
Yeah.
because I kept asking for a trolley and everyone kept pointing me to the carts.
It's funny how those little differences can throw you off.
Yeah, totally. And it's not even just the words for objects. Like, remember crisps versus chips?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, that
What
kind of
always
thing.
gets me.
It's just so interesting how these variations pop up.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back to our shopping trip. What about when you're trying to express, personal preferences?
Okay.
What kind of language do we use for that?
Well, think about it. If you're really looking for something specific, you might haggle for a lower price.
Right.
Especially at a market.
Yeah.
Or you might realize you've completely run out of something and you desperately need it.
Oh, yeah. Running out of something is the worst.
It is, especially if it's like a key ingredient and you're halfway through cooking dinner.
Oh, I've been there. So we've talked about strolling through markets. We've talked about navigating supermarket aisles.
Mm.
But what about the grand finale?
Ah,
The moment we've all been waiting for checking out.
yes. The culmination of our shopping adventure.
What do the sources say about this final stage?
Well, they use some pretty straightforward verbs, like checking out, of course, for paying,
Makes sense.
and loading up your bags or your
Right.
car.
Uh-huh.
but, there's always room for some more colorful language.
Ooh, I like where this is going. Give me all the good idioms.
Well, one that comes to mind is selling like hotcakes.
Oh, yeah.
It just paints such a vivid picture.
It does. Like you can almost see those items flying off the shelves.
Exactly. Like those must-have toys that every kid wants for Christmas.
Right. Or the latest tech gadget that everyone's talking about online.
Exactly. It's been fascinating unpacking all these little nuances of shopping vocabulary.
It really has.
What are some of the words or phrases that have stood out to you?
Honestly, I'm loving all the idioms.
Yeah.
I never realized how much they add to the richness of language.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're little linguistic gems that just add sparkle to everyday conversations.
I agree. And that brings me to a final thought. We've been exploring these words and phrases in the context of shopping.
Right.
But how might they be used metaphorically beyond the literal act of buying and selling?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking about like haggling, but instead of over price, maybe it's over ideas in a work meeting. Or how we shop around. But not for an item, but for the best solution to a problem.
Exactly. Yeah, or selling like hotcakes could describe like a new concept that people are really latching on to.
That's so true. It's like we've unlocked this whole secret code.
We have. It's pretty cool.
It is. So we've gone from those bustling street markets to the aisles of the supermarkets.
Mm-hmm.
And we've discovered all this amazing vocabulary along the way.
We have. And the best part is that language is all about practice.
True.
So the more you use these words and phrases, the more natural they'll become.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So go ahead, stock up on all these great words and phrases.
Yeah.
And see if you can try to work them into your next conversation.
Have fun with it.
Happy shopping, everyone.